Everyone, welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be doing something I've been promising you guys for probably the better part of 5 months now, and that is The Legend of Zelda. I was originally going to do the NES version, but last night I decided to fire up the Infidelity conversion to Super Nintendo, which takes advantage of the MSU1, which is kind of like replicating the Super Nintendo CD that never came out. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to play an updated port to the Super Nintendo of the original NES Zelda with CD quality audio, and there's a bunch of other quality of life differences and improvements over the original NES game, such as like lack of slowdown and stuff like that. Very little flicker, if anything, or if any. Some nice little like fade-ins and fade-outs when you go into dungeons, and there's just a whole wide variety of music as well from a variety of different Zelda games, from, you know, remixes of the original NES, Zelda 1 and 2 music, along with tunes from other Zelda games like Link to the Past, and yeah, it's actually pretty cool. So, yeah, I predict this will take us about a few hours. I think it took me about 3 hours last night to get through this. Which is why I'm actually doing it right now, is that, like, I just ran through the game last night. I feel pretty comfortable with it. So it shouldn't really take us all that long. Also, I am going to actually have a map up, just to quickly refer to, because there is a lot of stuff in this game that's kind of unnecessary. And, in order to keep things moving relatively quickly, I want to just, like, be able to pop back and, like, refer to it, just to grab, like, the right items that we need and stuff like that. So if you like to play along to my playthroughs, like their walkthroughs or something like that, this should be pretty snappy and concise and to the point, so you should be able to use this as that sort of video as well, if that's how you like to watch these. For everybody else, kick back, relax, enjoy some Zelda on the Super Nintendo, and yeah, it should be a good time. This stream was completely unannounced, so I don't suspect a lot of people are going to pop in right away, but we'll see what we get up to over the course of the stream. Usually, you know, Zelda, Mario, Metroid, stuff like that usually does pretty well on my channel, so we'll see if we get a nice little turnout over the course of the stream. But yeah, for anybody curious, this is converted by Infidelity. He's done a lot of NES to Super Nintendo conversions now. If you want to check these out for yourself, I have a link to his Twitter/X page, which he has a link to archive.org, where he hosts all of the downloads for these. So, some of his conversions require the MSU1. Actually, I don't know if they all require the MSU1. A lot of them support the MSU1, I will say that. And if you want to do MSU1 support, which is like the Super Nintendo CD compatibility, you will need a more advanced flash card, or a software emulator on your computer, or like a more modern FPGA device like the Mr. FPGA that can handle MSU1. So if you want to experience these conversions with, you know, the added benefits of like full motion video and CD audio, then you'll need a device like that. I'm actually using the SD to SNES, aka FX Pack Pro, and you know, that's about as high-end as you get when it comes to Super Nintendo flash cards, so that has MSU1 support, and I'm running this on a Super NT console. I mean, I could use this flash card on a regular SNES, and I had thought about doing that, but I'm lazy, and the Super NT is great for streaming and capturing, so that's how we're playing this. But you can use it, you can fire it up in, you know, a good software emulator on your computer, or you can use your Mr. FPGA or some other FPGA device like that, so, Dark Shadow Rage says, haven't seen you on Twitch in a while. I mean, I've been on Twitch all the time. Will there be tasty beverages? No, not on this stream. I don't do tasty beverages on my YouTube streams. Twitch is like gameplay and talk after dark. That's where we'll do some drinking, but, yeah, no, not here. Not right now. And I see, Garsh out there. He says, yay, Zelda! And, I see Ronnie's out there. I see Don Gex. Welcome back, Don. I see Steve-O. Cedar Valley Gaming, welcome back. We got Vornak out there, and looks like that's about everybody so far. I'll probably be streaming on Twitch later tonight. I need to do some more testing on Doom 32X Resurrection. Hey Carl, what's going on, man? He's got his 12-month badge too, that's pretty badass. But yeah, so I will be doing some of that later tonight, but I'm not sure if tasty beverages will be involved. But alright, so let me pick up the controller here. And so if you have a MSU1 compatible device, it'll actually pop you up to this soundtrack selection. And we're going to actually do the MSU1 enhanced soundtrack. Otherwise, it's just going to sound like the NES version the whole way through. But yeah, let's go ahead and just hit start and have it load up. It's pretty cool. It took me a little while to get used to this soundtrack, but by the end of the playthrough, I was like, okay, I dig this. Yeah, so I'm just letting this play out, letting you guys just see this. I mean, the game is basically the same as the NES version with a couple of, you know, minor quality of life improvements, but, yeah, so it takes a little while to I think, get used to, like, the CD audio on top of these old 8-bit visuals. Please look up the manual for details. Or just go to Zelda Dungeon, and they have all the details for you. I had to actually look up one of the details on one of the items. The Book of Magic, it looks like a Bible, actually affects the wand that you get later on in the game. A couple of us were talking about it on Twitch last night. We were like, the wand, like, when you can make fire appear with the wand, it's after you get, like, the red candle. But no, it's when you get the book. So, yeah, I didn't know that. So... Abba says, yes, I caught a stream early. Hey, Gary, welcome to the stream. He says, this is how the music sounded in our minds in the 80s. Alright. Yeah, so yeah, again, like I said, I beat the game last night, and it popped me right into the second quest, which I am not going to be playing, because that stuff is, like, stupidly hard. Just go ahead and name it YouTube, like we always do. And then we'll jump right in. Hit register, and then boom, there we go. Yeah, so you've got that little fade in and fade out, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like Link to the Past. Speaking of which, there's Link to the Past music right there. Carl says, I haven't been able to catch a stream in a while. Fatherhood duties. So one of the really big quality of life improvements in this is that you can actually cycle through items just by using the shoulder keys. So you don't have to, like, constantly bring up the menu like this. It's pretty awesome. So what I'm going to do is just kind of, like, you know, grind out a little bit for some rupees. Maybe try to get, maybe try to buy the candle. Because the candle will allow us to get a couple of upgrades pretty early on, which will be very handy. So... for anyone that hasn't played the original Legend of Zelda, when you clear enemies off the screen, they actually stay off the screen for a little while. I don't know if it's based on, like, time, or if it's based on, like, how many screens farther you've gone. But if I keep bouncing back and forth here, these guys aren't going to spawn. So you have to kind of keep pushing forward if you want to grind out on enemies to earn money. So basically you get rupees, and rupees come in the forms of 1 or 5. You can also find hidden rooms that will give you a bunch at once. Like, there's a room right around the corner here where if I have fire, I can get like 100 rupees just instantly. So that's actually a good way to get some items pretty early. Ooh, you just walked right into me. That's the stopwatch. That actually just freezes everything on screen. It's actually probably a bad place to grind out because I'm a little underpowered for these guys. These are moblins. And I've got my health maxed out now, so when your health bar is full, you get a long-range projectile, which is insanely useful. If you've never played the original Zelda, take advantage of that. If you ever plan on playing it. So it actually pays to play it safe in this game. Hey, guns! I see a Roy out there. Welcome to the stream. Carl asks, how did I feel about Tears of the Kingdom? I was kind of, like, mixed on it. I bought it on day one. I played it for about 5 hours that weekend it came out. And then I never went back to it again. Actually, that's not true. I think I tried going back to it a couple weeks later. And the game was so complex that, like, I felt like I needed to start over. And I had only been playing for a few hours. So, I don't know. I kind of gave up on it. I do intend on going back eventually, but it's a long game, and there's other long stuff I've wanted to do already anyway, like, you know, I did another Elden Ring playthrough recently, in preparation for the downloadable content, so, you know, that eats up a lot of time, for instance. We're at 15 rupees. Did you end up playing through Tears of the Kingdom, Carl? And I see Scott out there. Welcome back, Scott. How are you doing, man? The grind is real. Alright, there's a $5. My brother, actually, he bought a Switch last year, and he got Breath of the Wild, and he loved it, and then so he bought Tears of the Kingdom, like, right away. And he ended up loving that, too, going straight from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom. So... here's another $5. We're at 30 rupees. I need 60 for my my candle, my blue candle. Oh, Carl says his daughter was born right after the release of Tears of the Kingdom, so everything was put on hold. Yeah, that's totally understandable. Totally understandable. Link needs rupees badly. Really what I should do is probably just go to the first dungeon right away. But I like to try to get that candle first. That way I can do some other stuff and just, you know, extend my health bar, basically. There are things, areas you can burn with the candle to get permanent health upgrades. And then after I get, I think it's 5 hearts, I can go get the white sword, which is a big strength upgrade. So something else I wanted to mention is that you can hit select and pull up this this menu here for different palettes, and there's a lot of different palettes included here. It's pretty neat. I actually chose the real palette because it looks a lot like I remember playing this on a CRT back in the day. Composite is another one that actually looks similar. Real seems to be very similar to the composite palette, except I think the colors pop a little bit more, so, which is nicer for an HD display. But yeah, there's a lot of palette options for anyone that's curious. It's really neat. It's good stuff. Yeah, so maybe after we come out of this dungeon, we'll have enough rupees to get ourselves that candle, and then we can start just gathering items. One other nice feature in the original Zelda is you can actually just, like, swipe items with your sword. As long as they're not items that appear when, like, you clear out all the enemies, like that key was in the previous room. Also, we just got ourselves a compass, kind of tells you where the Triforce is. The Triforce piece. Little Hershey Kiss looking things. I have to quote Beesworth from last night, though, when he was watching on Twitch. He calls them chocolate chips. And then the big ones we see later on, those are the Hershey Kisses. This is going to be where we get our boomerang. But this is also kind of like, I wanted to upgrade before doing this because I'm already taking a ton of damage here. But I'm at 55 rupees. I'm gonna go this way. So you occasionally find these guys within dungeons, and they'll give you some tips. And I believe we also get our bow in this place, and that's where this is going to lead us. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this, but you'll notice there's some extra sound effects after you kill enemies inside the dungeons. I feel like that's probably from the Famicom Disk System version, but I haven't played that version in a while, so I don't remember. But it's definitely not in the original NES cartridge version. I'm going to try to play it safe here, because I only have a heart and a half. There we go. Cool thing about the boomerang is it can kill these bats for us, and you can shoot it at an angle. So, very handy. Alright, on to the boss room. Honestly, I really would like to get another heart. By doing so, I can just shoot the boss from a distance, which is ideal. But it looks like I might have to get up close. We'll see. See if we, these guys give us some hearts. There's one. Alright, gotta watch out for these hands. If they grab you, they take you out. I will definitely take that, thank you. They generally only come out when you're against a wall. There we go. Nice. Alright, boss time. Stay back from a distance. It's pretty easy stuff. You know, assuming my projectile actually wants to connect. I guess the hitbox is towards, like, the top of, more like around his neck area. Alright, Dungeon 1 is done. Alright, so we're gonna go buy the blue candle. Oh, okay. Nice thing about the boomerang is it stuns enemies. And in our second dungeon, we're going to get an upgraded version of the boomerang. You know, in the early game, I try to kill everything I see, just because, you know, there's the potential of them dropping rupees. Just kind of like that. And I need those if I want to, you know, get upgrades faster. There are some good places to grind out, but they're a little far away at this moment, so I'm just kind of staying towards the beginning of the game right now. Yeah, Ronnie had mentioned this game called Questmaster. I don't know if any of you guys have played that. I haven't checked it out. I probably won't because I just... too many games in too little time. But it seems pretty cool. It's like a Mario Maker, but for a Zelda-style game. So for anyone that's interested in that sort of thing, check it out. It's on... I guess it's on Steam, Ronnie? But here we go. Now I can just cycle through my items with the shoulder keys. It's pretty nice, huh? Alright, let's go get some more rupees. And let's get some upgrades while we're at it. Captain N asks if I was to choose between Metroid or Zelda, which would I choose? If we're talking NES, I would pick Zelda all day long. If we're talking Super NES, I would probably pick Metroid. Because Super Metroid, in my opinion, is like one of the best games like I've ever played in my entire life. I can go back to Super Metroid like any day of the week. I love it so much. Alright, let's see. Let's go down this way. So right about here, we can get ourselves a lot of rupees. And we're gonna come back. Alright, so we can get one of our heart container upgrades over this way. So I want to say it's the 5th one over. Let's try it. Yep. Now you can pick the potion. I don't recommend it because you can just buy potions. You can't just buy heart containers, so you definitely want to take the heart container. Unless you're trying to do a challenge run or something like that. Here we get ourselves, I think, some more rupees. If you're unsure which bush it is, you can shoot in between the two bushes and it'll actually count as hitting both. So that's kind of nice. But by getting a lot of rupees early, we can just start buying stuff that we're going to need later on in the playthrough. Now there are some bushes you don't want to burn, like this one right here. You'll actually get charged a fine for going in. The guy will be like, "Oh, you broke my door or something. You have to fix it." It's kind of funny, actually. It's clever for 1986. It's clever. Legend of Zelda was, like, really special when it came out. A lot of people won't really understand it, you know, if they weren't alive back then, but, and trust me when I say, like, this game was really ahead of its time. And it still holds up really well today. Another 100 rupees. So, there's a few different things I can do here. It's like, do I buy a bunch of smaller items? Or do I buy the blue ring? The blue ring reduces the amount of damage I take, which is, you know, pretty handy, obviously. I might go for the blue ring to start, and then we can try to grab some of the other items after. None of the other items I can buy right now, I don't think they're really necessary at this point in time. I mean, I know you're being facetious, Ronnie, but Highlight actually was when it came out, not on NES, but when it came out on computers. It was like 1984. Like, it was something really special as well. But Zelda is a game that's much bigger in scope compared to Highlight. You know, Highlight's a game you can beat in like 15 minutes. You know, when you know what to do. So. But both games were very important. Highlight was especially. A lot of people like to crap on it because it is archaic, but, you know, again, there wasn't really anything like it when it came out. And without Highlight, we might not have had Zelda as we know it. I mean, obviously the genre would have progressed over time. But history as we know it now might have panned out a little bit differently if it wasn't for games like Highlight. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Ronnie. Highlight walked so Zelda could run. Exactly. Alright, what I'm going to do is go and see if I can get... See if I can get the blue sword? Or the white sword, sorry. If anyone's actually curious about the NES Highlight, I actually do have a full Let's Play of it on my channel. So just search Highlight on my channel and you will find it. I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of enjoyed it. It's, you know, there are a lot of bad games that I still get some enjoyment out of. Especially if it's, like, possible to, like, repeatedly go through them. A lot of like bad games feel like they're too janky to even be playable, and Highlight comes off as that when you first play it, but it is actually quite possible to control that game and be consistent at it. Have I tried the Wii version of Punch-Out? Yes, yeah, I love that game. It's a great game. Anyone that likes Punch-Out, you gotta play the Wii game if you haven't done that. It's excellent. And actually, I'm actually doing this wrong. I want to go back because there is an item I want. It's going to be the letter. And the letter we can give to an old lady who appears throughout, you know, this overworld map at various different places. And she'll sell you potions. You really want to get a red potion. What it does is it gives you all your health back. But then it turns into a blue potion, which also does the same thing. A red potion is basically a health refill that can be used twice, and a blue potion is a health refill that can be used once. So with the red potion, you get 2 uses. So it's good to grab that letter early, so you can get those potions early. Already at 33 rupees. I'll probably have some bombs after the second dungeon. And with bombs, we can actually grab ourselves some other heart container upgrades. Hey, MD Mister, welcome back. So we actually can't go back to the right now. We have to go left. There's a couple points in this game where the map starts screwing with you. Nice. Alright, so this is a permanent sword upgrade. This is our second sword out of 3. These are Lionels. They don't look quite like anything like they do in Breath of the Wild, but... they're super threatening enemies in Breath of the Wild. Man, I want to play that game again. Ugh. Too many games, too little time. Alright, so now we're in actually really good shape. You can go into that waterfall, by the way, but it's not mandatory. Alright, looping back around here. We're gonna work our way towards the second dungeon now. Hey, some bombs. Nice. Alright, well, I can actually push off the second dungeon for a little bit. Let's see. So I'm down here. Go up this way. MD Misker asks, are there any great improvements over the NES original? Yeah, there's like basically no slowdown. Flicker has been minimized a lot. There we go. So you show her the map or the letter, and you can buy some potions, but I'm not going to do that right now. You've got those fade-ins and fade-outs, MD Mister. There's some other things, like being able to cycle through items with the shoulder keys, so I no longer have to menu, which is nice. I think the game also saves automatically. Like, I didn't have to get, like, a game over or anything to save it. No weird wonky, like, holding reset to power up. Holding reset while powering off the console. You've got a bunch of different palette options. Obviously, the CD music is pretty cool. When you use potions, it fills your health instantly. There's no, like, counting up the hearts or anything like that. Same with when you end the dungeon. It's just kind of like basic stuff. Now, obviously, you don't have any, like, graphical upgrades for the most part. Yeah, it's great to just get these upgrades early if you can. A lot of times it's just dependent on if you actually get bombs early. You want to loop around this way. Ooh, more bombs. Nice. Yeah, I hear you, MD Mister. I hear you, man. I mean, I ignored all these Infidelity conversions right away because I'm like, I don't need any other ways to play these games. I'll just play them in their original form. But, you know, the Metroid conversion earlier this year kind of got me thinking otherwise about it. Alright, so I do want that. That arrow is necessary for later on in the game. There's a mini-boss enemy that can only be killed with these, with the arrow. Hey, Danielle, welcome back, Miss Girl Geek. But yeah, I mean, the cool thing about some of these hacks is the quality of life improvements. Like, just being able to cycle through weapons with L and R is very nice in this game. And the same thing goes with some of the Mega Man conversions he did. I played the Famicom Contra conversion last night, and he implemented a mechanic where you can lock yourself in place, just like in, you know, Super Contra or Contra Hardcore. And then he also incorporated a second weapon slot, you know, which is pretty cool, so... And with the CD music and stuff like that, it's like... There's more of a functional purpose to Infidelity's conversions than just like some random hack, you know. So I think it's worth playing through the games again on Super Nintendo. Alright, I think there is a shop right here. Which might be good for later. We are going to need the meat, but I think we can get the meat cheaper elsewhere, but that shield for 90 bucks is pretty good. That's a big shield. The big shield blocks some projectiles that my little baby shield right here cannot. Level 2. Those things remind me of the snakes from Star Tropics. Alright, got the compass. So when I play these dungeons, I kind of like... I don't just go like all the way up or something like that. Like I try to like kind of cover a wide set of areas at one time. So like I went through all those 4 or 5 rooms on the bottom side of the dungeon, Just try to clear them out, make sure I don't miss anything. And generally, you know, that kind of, like, exploration practice will get you through, like, the first 7, maybe even 8 dungeons. I'd say the first 7 dungeons. Dungeon 8, I think, has a couple of, like, stairwells that lead you to other places, and it gets a little confusing, but for the early dungeons, you can kind of just... Yeah, I don't know. You go about your exploration a certain way, and, you know, you won't get lost. And there's our map for the dungeon. Can't remember if they want me to start bombing. There we go. Yeah, upgrading to the blue ring was a good idea, along with the white sword. These guys are dropping a lot of rupees, which is nice. Another one, nice. Probably don't actually have to go through that locked door. Dodongo dislikes smoke. That's the sort of Triceratops looking dude that we're gonna fight at the end of this dungeon. Pretty easy enemies. Hey Motorhead, welcome back. Also, if you want to use your arrows, they actually use rupees. So I only recommend using them later on in the game where it's required by either a boss fight or it's beneficial for fighting specific enemies. I'm getting a lot of rupees in this place. I like that. I can come out and buy my shield right away. So there's no underground, no like basement item that you can get in this. You basically get the blue boomerang, and that's it. Oh, Abba had asked, does each dungeon have its own music? It does, actually, and that's one other thing I really like about this version, is every dungeon has a different theme. Whereas in the NES original, it's the same music until you get to Ganon's dungeon. Buy her big shield. He says, boy, this is really expensive. If only you knew, Link. If only you knew. Alright, the question is, where am I going now? Yeah, I'm looking at the map, and there's another room with a big shield, and they wanted 160 for it. Alright, so what we're gonna do is go towards Dungeon 3. Still haven't gotten a potion yet, though. So we'll have to buy one of those eventually. But I do need that meat. The meat is required for one of the dungeons. I think the dungeon comes later on, but it is necessary. I think I actually missed a secret wall here. Yeah, we can get some extra rupees by doing this. There's a bunch of, like, secret doorways you can blast open, but, again, a lot of them aren't really all that necessary. There are some, though, that will allow you to gamble your money away. I don't really recommend it, because, I don't know, I tend to lose more often than not on them, so... If you know where, like, you know, the instant rupees are, then, like, you really just want to go for those. And you're probably good enough. And if you really need money later on, you're better off just grinding out at the graveyard. And I'll show you guys how that trick works when we get there later on. I'm not going to go over there unless I absolutely have to, but I don't have to yet, so... Did I ever attempt a playthrough without the sword? Hell no. No, I would never do that. That sounds ridiculous. Maybe in like a straight-up action game, but a game like this? No. That would be extremely tedious, too, because, like... I would imagine there'd be some rooms where you can't even get past them. You know, unless you get, like, the bow and arrow super early. And you've got a bazillion rupees, that'd be like one of the only ways I can imagine you getting through the early parts in particular. Yeah, these dark nuts. This is where the game starts to get a little challenging, I would say. And it's one thing I love about the original Zelda is, like, they weren't afraid to really pack these enemies, or these rooms full of enemies. Alright, so we got the raft, and that's going to actually allow us to grab another heart container. I always forget the names of these guys. Little smiley-looking things. But when you get hit by them, you can't use your sword for a couple seconds. They're more annoying than anything. Alright, let's go down this way first. Alright, so this guy, you can just smack him with your sword, or you can try to place a bomb. And instant kill him. Alright, I want to go back because I think there's an item I have to get. Wait, did I already get it? I think I did, but I want to explore this other area anyway. Yeah, I got it. I got the old raft. Hey, Ben, thanks for dropping in. Have a good night. Did you get the sword from the old man on top of the waterfall? I did, actually, thank you. Yeah, that was worth it. Got myself a key. If you try to buy keys out in the overworld, they're not exactly cheap. Getting lots of rupees, which is nice. Actually, when I come out of this place, I should probably buy the meat, since I'm gonna need that. Stevo asks, did I watch the Zelda cartoon back in the day? Yeah, I did. Yeah. My best friend and I at the time would always look forward to that. It was on Fridays. It was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. And every Friday they would do a Zelda episode. It's basically what we looked forward to at the end of our school weeks. Hey, there's Mr. Never Enough himself. Mr. 90s Gaming Guy, I mean. Welcome back. Alright, I'm gonna go get another heart container. And then on the way back, we'll go to dungeon number 4. Let's see. How many rupees do I have? 128. I think maybe I can just go ahead and buy the red potion right now. Maybe by the time we get back, I'll have enough for the meat. Unless there's $60 meat somewhere else. Let me see. Where is all the meat? Yeah, there is $60 meat. I can actually go do that right now. Awesome. Well, that worked out perfectly, actually. Oh, man. Carl, yeah, I used to watch the X-Men show as well. I loved that show growing up. I don't have Disney Plus, so no, I don't, I have not seen any, of the new ones. I remember back in the day, Pizza Hut was giving out, like, the first 2 episodes on VHS, and so I actually had those growing up. We would watch them over and over again. Just that introduction theme just is so cool. I don't think there's really much else I need to buy at this point. It's kind of nice, actually. I mean, buy within, you know, no, on the overworld, I mean. Because there are a couple things I need to get inside certain dungeons. There are permanent bomb upgrades, which cost 100 rupees. And you get those on, inside dungeons 5 and 7. Mr. Kennedy, welcome to the stream. You know what, Carl? You might be right about that, because I had the first few episodes of TMNT as well on VHS, and I'm wondering if my parents got them from some kind of promotion like that, like some fast food chain. I don't remember how we got those. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to play it safe. I don't really need to play it safe right now. My health bar is pretty big. Yeah, Motorhead. Yep, there was the Mario 3 based show. And I think didn't they eventually start like incorporating Mario World stuff in there as well? Yeah, I remember that show as well. Hey, FPS Fanatic, welcome back. Did I get my Mister fixed? No, I did not. Not yet. It's still sitting about 5 feet away from me. I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's kind of low on the priority list right now because a lot of the stuff I want to play I already have access to. It's not like I have to have the Mister. Really, the only thing I'm missing with the Mister is, you know, not having to use CDRs with like a PS1. And then Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color. But everything else I've got access to. Office, you would have to look up what revisions A through F were. Because I have no idea. Usually, Infidelity, from what I can tell, incorporates features. You know, he slowly rolls features out. He'll do like a base release, which might just be like the base game with the NES soundtrack, and then he'll start adding extra features as he develops them, incorporates them into the project. So like MSU1 support, for instance, usually comes later, which is the Super Nintendo CD, you know, functionality. But if you go and you look at all his releases, you know, he'll have, like, patch notes and stuff like that, and, you know, it'll tell you what all the different revisions do. He's got readmes that come with these. Alright, so we've got basically everything that we need right now. So let's go to Dungeon 4. Carl says he's considering getting rid of his consoles and investing in a Mister just for space reasons. What I would do, Carl, is consider buying a Mister first, use it for a little bit, and then figure out what you want to get rid of. Because you might find that some platforms you just prefer using original hardware. There's just something about it, you know? But after you've used the Mister for a little bit, you know, then make the decision on whether, like, you should get rid of your stuff or not. Or maybe you'll want to get rid of, like, half your stuff and keep half the other things. Yeah, because, I mean, I love the Mister, but there are a couple things that, you know, like the menu system is super bare bones, and generally that's fine, but there are some times where I'm like, man, I don't know. Vince says X-Men 97 is so good. Yeah, Vince, I think it's actually probably close to ready. The only issue with it is you still have to buy the upgrades, you know. I think you still need to get the RAM upgrade, and you're still probably going to need a USB hub and stuff like that. So it's not just going to be $100, I'm guessing. Yeah, we're going to get the little step ladder here later. But yeah, it's great to see that there's going to be a Mr. Alternative, so the project becomes, you know, semi-affordable again. Because right now, it's not particularly cheap. Alright, we got the pancakes. At least that's what we like to call them. These guys will eat your big shield if you're not careful. Then you have to buy another one. I had actually thought about getting rid of some of my systems too, but man, I don't think I have the heart to do it. I'm also lazy because most of my stuff is boxed and complete, and it's like a pain in the ass to ship it. You know, if we're talking like my Mega Drive Model 1, like that's a pretty big box. Like, I don't really need a Mega Drive Model 1. I've got all 3 North American Genesis consoles. But again, it's like I just don't have the heart to do it yet. If I could, like, sell it locally for a good price, I think that would convince me. I've got multiple Sega CD units. I've got a Model 1 and Model 2, and it's like, do I need both? It's like, I've had my Model 2 for like 15 years now. I don't want to part with it. Plus, the other thing about the Mister is the cores aren't perfect either. I've noticed some like speed inconsistencies on the Sega CD core. So if I have my original hardware that works well, then I get that fully accurate experience. Oh, nice. Free. Oh, that was cheap. These guys are still doing some damage, though. I like the red bats, too. Nice little touch. Yeah, Carl, I totally get that too, just not wanting to have the stuff around. I'm getting tired of having to play Tetris with everything I own. You know, it's become a hassle. Yeah, it would be different if, like... I hate talking about this, but, like, my YouTube channel was, like, on fire, like, it was doing really well. And, you know, a lot of the stuff I have, it's because I was using it for the YouTube channel. And now that it's, like... my motivation to keep going with this thing has been at a low point. It's like, do I really need all this stuff now? You know? Like, I don't think I really do. I don't know. I mean, I've also got FPGA versions of a lot of these platforms too, so it's like, you know, I have an FPGA NES, I've got the Mister, I've got an FPGA SNES, an FPGA Genesis, and, plus I've got, you know, 5 versions of the Genesis. Well, between my Genesis consoles and Mega Drives, I've got 5 different systems that all do the exact same thing. Except the poor Genesis Model 3, which only has composite video output. And no 32X or Master System support. It's like I could probably, you know, trim those back and have 1 Genesis console. I'd probably keep my Model 2 Genesis and call it a day. Let's see, is there... I'm all the way up here. I'm trying to see if there's an easy way to buy a key nearby, but looks like I can. I think I'm... Oh, I can't go back. Oh, I'm an idiot. Damn it. Oh well. Yeah, Carl, the Model 1 is the classic, 100%, but I have a lot more nostalgia for the Model 2, actually. I like the box design, I like how sleek the console is, and it doesn't take up a ton of space. You know, back in the day, I had a Model 2 paired with a Sega CD Model 2, and that's just kind of like... And a bunch of my friends, you know, had that setup as well. You know, the Model 2 setup, I mean. So, like, I could do without the Model 1. And the Model 3, like, I don't need. And it's not cheap these days. So... yeah, my Model 3 is actually in really nice shape. I think it was actually brand new and never used. When I asked to take a look at it at the shop a couple years ago, I was like, oh my god, I don't think this has ever been taken out of its packaging. Everything still had all the tie wraps on it and stuff like that. Alright, so Dig Dogger hates certain kinds of sound. So when we get the whistle, we're gonna have to use that on the boss. Yeah, same here, Carl. Yeah, Model 2 with the 6-button controller. Absolutely. Gotta be really careful with these guys, because if you run out of bombs, you're kind of screwed. And your reward is more bombs! Congratulations! Yeah, one thing I do really like about original hardware, though, is, I think it's something that a lot of people don't talk about, is that stuff just works. You plug it up, you put your cartridge in, or your CD, and it just works. So, you know, emulation, it's fantastic these days, but there's always some kind of fiddling that has to be done with it. Well, at least if you're picky like me. Like, I'll notice screen shimmering on software emulation, then I'll be like, I'll have to spend forever, like, trying to apply the right filters to, you know, to make sure it's a nice, smooth, make sure my screen scrolls are nice and smooth, and, I don't know. With my original hardware, I just plug it up, and I am just good to go. So... But I'm also at a point in my life where, like, I don't have to... You know, I'm allowed to have all this stuff. You know, it's not like I have a significant other or anything. And I'm not sharing my space with anybody else. It's just all me. So, you know, there is that aspect. And there probably, hopefully, will be a day where, you know, I might have to start making some concessions. Alright, there's our map. So Dungeon 5, this is where we're gonna get one of our bomb upgrades. So it's actually good I did not buy a key before going in here, because I'm gonna need that $100 to buy my bomb upgrades. Vince says real hardware breaks all the time. You are not wrong about that. Yeah, that's also one other thing that's kind of leading me towards considering selling some of the stuff, because I've had to do fixes on a lot of different platforms, and I still have platforms in my collection that I know I'm going to have to get worked on just to keep them running. Like, I know I really should, like, bulletproof my Sega CD Model 1. Like, I had it serviced a couple years ago when I got it, because it was actually sold to me as not working. I already knew it was going to need some work. And I did get it working. You know, I got it serviced. But I know they didn't do, like, a full recap or anything. They just fixed whatever was causing its disk read issue. Okay, so I can't actually do this yet. I need the whistle. Hey, MD Mister, thanks for gifting a sub. I appreciate that. Or a channel membership. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Holy crap. Okay. I am going to be out of bombs here. Still need to get the whistle. I'd like to get some more bombs before I start using my last bomb. Uh-oh. Oh wow, MD Mister again. Why am I not getting a notification for that? I'm not getting a sound notification. Oh, there it is. Okay. There you go, Don. Got yourself a channel membership. Yeah, thanks a lot, MD Mister. Feel free to spam some emoji. Also, I've got some channel membership exclusive videos that you'll have access to for a short little while. I guess for the next month or so. So go, if you get bored, go check those out. Yeah, so I know I'm supposed to bomb somewhere to get my bomb upgrade, but I don't want to do that unless I've got all my bombs. There we go, okay. Hey, Major Havoc, welcome back. Alright, we got the blue Dark Nuts. These guys are a lot faster and they take a lot more hits. And you generally have to kill all the enemies in a room to be able to move blocks. You know, there's like a technique that like speedrunners use, like they're able to swipe back and forth really fast, and I'm just not very good at that. You notice that I play relatively like slow and steady in this game. I kind of like lead my shots, lead my attacks. Yeah, so I think actually down this way is where I can get my bomb upgrade. It's probably down here and to the right. That's probably it right there. I bet you'd like to have more bombs. I definitely would. So now we can hold up to 12. And on Dungeon 7, we'll get ourselves another upgrade. So we'll be able to carry 16. And this should take us to our whistle. There it is. One really clever design choice that I don't see a lot of people make note of is the fact that while this is a tile-based game, you're not locked to a specific tile when you're moving. It's like there's at least 2 levels you can walk on each tile. Whereas there's a lot of games that, you know, use this tile-based structure and they kind of lock you to one tile entirely at a time. But Zelda gives you a little more fine-tuned control. And you can even, like, kind of like just walk along certain objects if you're just, like, a little bit higher up on the tile. It's interesting stuff. It's just good gameplay design. Just gonna work our way back to the boss fight. The boss will basically just die instantly with the whistle. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm actually confusing it for some other kind of game. Yeah, you basically make it weak with the whistle, and then you can attack it. I think that's what happens. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of these guys. So for those rabbit-looking things, I believe in the Famicom version, there was a microphone on the controller. You could, like, yell into it or something, or blow into it, and it would defeat those enemies for you. You know, I'd really like to play through the Famicom version one day. I still haven't done that. Maybe that's something I can do down the road. Yeah, it's probably like 5 years since my last playthrough of this on YouTube, so maybe I'll give it another 5 years, and if I'm still doing this, I'll do the Famicom version. Alright. Oh, good deal. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the graveyard, and I think I can actually upgrade to the Master Sword now. Oh! Crap, I can't. I was gonna say... There's another heart container I want, since I have the step ladder now. So we're gonna take the scenic route. I should probably grab this while I'm here. I think it's some free rupees. Why not? It's a secret to everybody. Except you. You're just too good. Hey, 90s Gaming Guy, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Should get that sound trigger here any moment. Oh, I already got this heart. I'm an idiot. For some reason I thought that I did not get this yet. Oh no, there it is. I didn't get it. Alright. That first one fooled me. I was like, oh no, I already came here. My memory's not working. And actually, check this out. If we switch over to the whistle, we get warped out. It's Zelda's form of fast travel. And here we go. I'm much closer to where I want to be now. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, much appreciated, 90s Gaming Guy. I appreciate that. Hey man, I'll talk. Nah, I'm good. No thanks. Alright, so we're gonna go to what's called the Lost Woods. And we're just gonna go left. And we're gonna go down. And left. And up. And left. And down. And left. Alright, on to the graveyard. And lots of Lionels. I don't ever mess with the Lionels in this game. But yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. So you notice there's one ghost here. We can trigger a whole bunch of other ghosts, and the one that's actually weak will destroy all the other ones. Pretty sweet little mechanic. This is a great way of grinding out on rupees. Hey, Lower Arts Guy, what's going on? Liberal Arts guy, I think you just answered your own question, dude. Is this like an updated version of Zelda for the Super NES? I wonder. Just based on the title and thumbnail alone. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, anyone that wants to give this a try, again, like I said, I have Infidelity's Twitter page, Twitter profile linked, and he's got a link to his archive.org location where he keeps the backups for these, so you can download them, pop them in an emulator, or load them on a higher-end flash card or FPGA device. Yeah, I mean, they sort of did, Carl. They had a Zelda game for their satellite service in Japan. And that's actually been, I think, either hacked and dumped, or it's been recreated or something like that. I don't think it was, I don't remember if it was the full game or what. I'll have to look into that again. It's been a while since I've even thought about that version. We got some Zelda 2 music now. Aim at the eyes of Goma. That's one of the enemies we need the arrows for. Yeah, these Wizrobes, they, especially the blue ones, they can be a major pain. I think they're some of the toughest enemies in the game. MD Mister asks, isn't there a project to remake the game in a newer Zelda engine, like N64 or something? Maybe? I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there's always so many, like, homebrew projects being in development at any given moment. Honestly, it's really hard to keep up with all that stuff. Honestly, I don't know how I'd feel about, like, an Ocarina-style Zelda 1. Because Zelda 1, like... I don't know, Ocarina's combat isn't exactly, like... I don't know, Ocarina's combat just feels way less skill-based than, like, even this ancient combat here. If that makes any sense. If I don't dodge well and, like, think about what I'm doing, I die super fast in this game, and never really got that from Ocarina. Where you're just locking onto an enemy and circling around over and over. I don't know. Not saying its combat's bad, I don't know if it would be suited for Zelda 1, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, Breath of the Wild style would work better. Actually, one thing I loved about Breath of the Wild is it did feel more like the older Zeldas. Where, you know, you could get wrecked really fast. Also, the general just, like, exploration aspect was more like Zelda 1, where you're just dropped into a world and you're forced to just explore. You know, aside from the initial plateau, you know, the whole world's open to you. So... Did I play Legend of Doom, a Zelda 1 remake in the Doom engine? I did not. I don't really mess around with those, like, Doom conversions of, like, classic video games. They just... I don't know. They always feel like they're more novelty than anything. Alright, later, Carl. Have a good night, man. Okay. Let's see what's down here. Nice. There's my wand. Yeah, the big shield's actually really good for these guys. Blocks their projectiles. That's right, I got the Master Sword now, so these guys are dying in one hit. Have I ever owned an Atari 2600 or 5200? Yes. I've owned both. I actually still have a 2600. Ooh, one shot. Tidbit Retro says the original Legend of Zelda is a game I grew up with and personally love. But if you don't understand how others can call it obtuse, try playing the second quest blind without the internet. Yeah, no, the second quest it's rough. I don't think this game is really that obtuse. I mean, you just gotta explore the world enough. It's like, yeah, it's obviously a lot easier if you have a map up that tells you where everything is, but the world itself isn't that big. I mean, you can go from the far right end to the far left end in like 2 minutes. It really doesn't take long. It's just about becoming familiar enough with it. Kind of like making mental notes is really important. Like, you know, if you stumble your way up to this area and you walk into here and it says level 6, well, you should make note of that. It's like, you probably don't want to be here yet if you haven't even done level 2 yet. So it's, yeah, like, this game didn't ever feel really obtuse to me like, say, Castlevania 2 did. Alright, so we want to actually come over here, too, because we're going to get ourselves a gauntlet. Castlevania 2's just got some stuff in it that's, like, not really explained at all. Zelda's a little bit better than that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I really need, so we can go to level 7. I'm trying to think. Yeah, our next 2 heart containers are going to be in level 7 and level 8, so... Now, I will say the final dungeon in this game sucks. I really don't like it. There are so many, like, FU moments in it. Like, last night I was playing, like, I went one room too far up, and, like, it basically put, like, a one-way door behind me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I've gotta go all the way back around. And the way back around is not obvious either, because the dungeon is gigantic. And there's so many different warps and staircases and blah blah blah, and it's like... Yeah, it's rough. But I'd say most of Zelda 1 is pretty manageable. You know, it's just trial and error. Scott says level 9 could be its own game. Yeah, basically. Alright, you know what I should do is just use my whistle trick. I see, I don't see how burning, like, using bombs and burning bushes is unintuitive. I mean, it's... just do it. What's so hard about that? Like, we didn't have that problem back in the day, we just did it, and it's like, it wasn't an issue. I think people tend to just kind of come up with arbitrary excuses as to why something isn't good, or something is confusing. Honestly... a lot of the... there aren't actually that many places in the game, like, in the overworld, let's just say that, where, like, you actually have to bomb to proceed. I think the only mandatory one is Ganon's castle, and then, of course, there is map... Dungeon 8, where you have to burn a bush. But there aren't really any others on the overworld where you have to do that. And I suppose... you know, actually, some of the areas you have to burn, it actually kind of reminds me of, like, Wolfenstein 3D level design, where, like, there's some secrets in that game where it's, like, there's a texture that's obviously different than the rest, and so there's a little bit of that in this game, where, like, the level 8 dungeon bush is, like, it's in a very unique position, and so you kind of, like, you just want to do it anyway. It's like, oh, that looks a little bit different, let me try to burn that. And I don't know. Alright. Now, quest number 2, I can't vouch for that at all. I've tried to play through it, and I just get annihilated every time I try, and I just give up right away, so... I know that, like, the dungeons... I think a lot of the dungeons are, like... some of them are in different places completely, supposedly. Can't do that one. Alright, see ya, Abba. Have a good night, or day, wherever you are out there. Oops. Yeah, more Zelda 2 music. I love it. Yeah, the other thing about games like these back in the day, it's like... There's a lot of word of mouth. Like, you would get stuck. It was kind of a part of the experience, but then you would coordinate with, like, friends and family that also played the game a lot. You would share tips and strategies and stuff like that. Like, dude, I was bombing and I found Dungeon 9. It's here and there. It's like, that was a big part of it, too. If you're going in and just completely blind, you're on your own little island, and you don't know anybody else that's played it, then yeah, I could see where there are definitely certain parts of this game that can be frustrating. You know, it's funny, even Castlevania 2, it is absolutely obtuse, but, like, you know, I never had a problem with it back in the day because there was the whole word of mouth aspect. Like, I never really got stuck in that game because I always had friends that knew the solution, or I knew a solution to one of their problems and they knew the solution to my problem, and we basically shared information, so... You know, it was different back then in that regard, but there still is a little bit of that today. You know, like, if like a From Software game comes out, they're usually pretty obtuse in a Castlevania 2 kind of way. But people share info online, and, you know, we end up getting through those games because of just the sharing of knowledge. Have I played the Newtopia games and the TurboGrafx? I have played them just a little bit, but they never really resonated with me. They just seemed like kind of not bad games, but clearly like cheaper Zelda knockoffs, and I just never really had the desire to go through them. It's one of those things where it's like I'd rather just play Zelda again for the 100th time, or try to finally tackle its second quest or something. Anyway, that's just the kind of vibe I got from them when I played them. I don't know if I actually had to kill those Dodongos. Your reward is... Oh. Okay. I thought it was going to be more bombs. I feel gypped now. Oh, nice. That's right, this is level 7, so we get our next bomb upgrade. Yeah, Link to the Past is one of those games, Scott, where if I did a YouTube stream of it, I'd have to probably split it into multiple parts. I think there's probably no way I'm doing the whole thing in one sitting. I don't have the energy to do that anymore. Unless I've got copious amounts of alcohol in my system, like... And a game like that's not good for those types of streams. Yeah, it's definitely a bucket list game on my YouTube channel, for sure. I haven't actually gone through Link to the Past since the 90s. Been a long time. I've dabbled with, like, the first 3 dungeons a couple times since then, but not very often. Yeah, so this is where we need the meat. Supposedly, I think the second quest requires you to do that at least twice. There's like 2 different spots in the game. And there's our map. I like using this stepladder as, like, kind of a little safety zone. It's pretty cool. You know what? I should just... I have this long-range weapon for a reason. Let's see, I'm right here. Hey, look at that. Rupees I don't really need. Hey, look at that. We're in the eyeball. Yeah, one thing I really like about this conversion is the fact that there is, you know, a new music track for every single level. That's just a great touch. Alright. Got ourselves the red candle. So the red candle we can just use infinitely. It's pretty nice. Alright. I am stuck. Yeah, what's also really cool about the soundtrack on these is that you can actually override the music with your own. And you can put on like a death metal soundtrack if you wanted to. And Infidelity, I saw in his README that he basically kind of has like a little tutorial on how to do that. So if for some reason you don't like this MSU1 audio, you can you know, swap it out for your own stuff. Or if you have a specific Zelda soundtrack that you prefer, you can do that too. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the Legend of Death Metal. Alright, this is going to take us to the boss. And then we only have 2 more dungeons. And it's little baby dragon again. Puff the magic dragon. All right. All right, on to dungeon 8. Oops. Should probably use it here. Yeah, it's okay. Level 9, we have a specific route. We'll get through level 9 pretty quickly. Level 9 sucks if you don't know where to go, but when you know where to go, it's like you can zip through it pretty quickly. Oh, come on. You're gonna do this to me? There we go. That's better. I am totally going the wrong way. So aside from, you know, buying potions, if I use my potions, rupees are basically pointless right now. Alright, this is level 8. I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's like, you know, there's like one bush that kind of sticks out, you know, like a sore thumb. So it's like, that's the one you burn. It's definitely, it's one of the mandatory bushes that you have to burn. Alright, level 8 is pretty long. I don't have any maps up for any of these dungeons except for the final dungeon. So we've just been kind of refiguring these out as I go. You know, I did beat the game last night, but there's a lot of information to take in, so it's really hard for me to remember a lot of this stuff. And I also played a lot of games after this, too. I didn't just play this last night. I played through Mega Man 3, played through Contra multiple times. Played through a bunch of other Super Nintendo games. Hey, DG, welcome back. Yeah, so now we've got the Book of Magic, which allows our wand to do some fire, which is pretty sweet. Also, we should be getting the master key on this map. means you will no longer need keys. Yeah, rooms like these were really tough for me as a kid. And even today, it's still really hard to get through them without taking damage. Burning through my bombs. Cool. Definitely use more bombs. Thanks, Office. I try. So many enemies. So that's a trick to make bombs spawn. Gaming guy, I did a playthrough of this back in like January or February. and then I did a run last night, and that was it. I mean, this is a game I played a lot as a kid, so it's like, you know, it comes back to me pretty well. So I still have to keep exploring because I haven't gotten the master key yet. So let me go do that. I have to re-figure out how to do that. Let's see. Yeah, getting the actual map is so helpful, but I haven't gotten one yet. DG just has two soundtrack options. Basically the original NES soundtrack and then this. Oh, that felt good. None that I haven't already mentioned like 15 times already, 90s gaming guy. When I start to sound like a broken record, I start to get annoyed. I think the biggest advantage, in my opinion, is the fact that you can just cycle through sub-weapons with the shoulder keys. And that just makes your life a lot easier, especially earlier on in the game. Let's see, I think I've gotten everything I need here. Yeah. So we can go ahead and just exit this map. Go get the Triforce and then go to the final dungeon. I don't even need to buy any potions or anything. I've already got them. Any other quality of life differences are going to be pretty subtle. One of the other biggest things is like basically the lack of slowdown and crazy flicker and stuff like that. So that just makes it a more comfortable experience. Alright, I'm all the way down here. Office, have you ever finished the second quest on this game? What are your thoughts on it, if you have? I've already forgotten where to go. Office says, it's alright. It's something cool to play if you're still wanting. It's mostly not too much more difficult. Really? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, every time I tried it, it always seemed like it was way more difficult. Just those dark nut rooms really blow. Okay. Oh, Scott, look at that. Thanks for that. I didn't even know that. Oh, crap. Oh, no, no. You didn't say it was going to exit me back. Oh, shit. Oh. Come on. God damn it. Damn you, Scott. Shit, man, come on. Oh. Damn it. It's not your fault, Scott. It's my fault. I have to do that whole dungeon over again. Yeah, instant fill of heart containers is another quality of life improvement, yeah. I actually like the old method, though. Okay. Yeah, see, I was wondering how you could save, though. And, you know, last night when I played, I just played straight through. I didn't get a game over, I didn't die once. And it just saved my data. Like, after all that was done. But it's great to know that there is, like, an in-game option. Just needed the Triforce piece, and that was it. That was it! The thing is, I don't remember where to go either. Because like I said, it's so much information to take in. You know, when I was a kid, I would have had all this stuff memorized, and I don't have it in me anymore. It'd be funny if I could just bomb right into the Triforce room. I will say one quality of life improvement that I would have liked to have seen is like some additions to the main map here. Like, have it list where like the stairwells are and stuff like that. That would have been pretty nice, actually. Go! Damn it. Damage boost! Alright, I think we're good now. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Alright. Final stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Damage boosting through enemies when he just can't give a crap anymore. Basically. I love that there are these warps in this game too. That was also something that was kind of like ahead of its time. Yeah, DG, but he's not done with Zelda 2. He hasn't added MSU1 yet, so I'm not gonna mess around with that until he gets MSU1 in there. But you guys can rest assured, I will definitely be streaming that once it's finished. I love me some Zelda 2. Alright, so I'm actually going the wrong way. Oh, you can handle it, DG. Zelda 2 is a great game. Hey, Retro Simon, long time no see. How are you doing? So, the final dungeon has the blue arrows that we pretty much have to get, otherwise we can't beat Ganon. It's also got the red ring, which, will reduce our damage intake even further, which is good, so there is a very specific route you can take to get all that in one fell swoop. Have you ever thought about playing the Zelda 2 PC Remaster? No, I have not. I've heard about it, but yeah. Too many games, too little time, so I probably won't mess around with it. Verducci Man. This is relatively new. Came out in late 2023, I believe. What's actually really cool, too, is, I'll actually point this out. So if you kind of run low on health, you can actually come out here. Are there gray cart versions of Zelda? There is one of Zelda 2. I'd assume there is one of Zelda 1 as well. Basically, those were the re-release versions in the 90s. So yeah, you can go there and buy yourself another potion if you're struggling with this. Okay, so we're just gonna try to zip right through this because this dungeon kinda sucks sometimes. This works on real hardware if you have a more advanced flash cart, like an SD to SNES or a FX Pack Pro. So we are playing this on a form of real hardware via the Super NT. Scott says the Famicom Disk System Zelda 2 is a bit easier, he believes, but he thinks it gives more bang for the buck on grinding. Yeah, there are some difficulty differences in that too. Okay, how do I want to do this? We go up. We go left. Well, that was a good drop. Pancakes galore! So this is on our way towards the red ring. And if we come down here, this will actually give us our compass. Verducci Man, yes, the Infidelity hacks generally work on just a standard flash cart. However, if you want the MSU1 support, you have to have a better flash cart to play it on real hardware. Otherwise, you'll just get stuck with the, you know, the straight port of the NES game with the NES music. Some of his conversions have full motion video included as well. So you won't get any FMV either. That is something that's cool about his ports, though, is like, you know, they don't all require, like, high-end flash carts or, you know, software emulation. Alright, so we are going to go this way, and actually I'm going to use a potion real quick. Simon, no. Do you know what the MSU1 is? It's basically a form of replicating the Super Nintendo CD-ROM hardware that never came out. And in order to do that, you have to have a certain kind of flash cartridge that can support that emulation, basically, or replication. It's not really an extra chip, per se. It's complicated. I'm not really the one to... I'm not really a good one to explain it. Yeah, I mean, it's not like replicating, like, the SA1 processor, which I think that was the one that Mario RPG used, and people have been hacking a lot of games to support it. It's basically functionality that's replicating hardware that never came to market, so it's It's a little bit different. I mean, it's probably similar, but it's also different at the same time because of the circumstances involved. And I'm just getting wrecked by these guys. What I ended up doing last time was actually going all the way through here and then going back to the beginning and just buying a brand new potion and then coming back in and doing the rest. And that's what I might do here. You cannot get Mario missing running right on your Super NT. I mean, that's not a huge loss, I would say. I know there's some people that probably have nostalgia for that game. Yeah, where am I right now? I'm all in here. Yeah, the Super NT, if you've got it jailbroken and you're just playing games off the SD card, it's not flawless. There are incompatibilities, for sure. Same with the Mega SG. Oh, no. We got our shield stolen, guys. Or eaten, I should say. You really think so, Scott? I mean, the Mega SG has so many different controls, though, for that. Like, if you can't get it sounding like a real Genesis, then maybe that's user error? I don't know. It always sounds great to me. And now I can't block these projectiles because I don't have a big shield. There we go. Alright, we're basically going to do this again, but now we're going to work our way towards the blue arrows. Yeah, you should definitely experiment, Scott. I don't know, it always sounded pretty good to me. I remember, I went through this on my Wii, like, 12 years ago. It's been a really long time. And I remember not getting the Master Key in Dungeon 8. And I got to this dungeon and I couldn't actually beat the dungeon because I ran out of keys. I had to, I think, exit the dungeon and buy some more keys on the overworld map. Good times. What does the red ring do? Well, clearly, it makes you red. See? Makes Link look like he's from hell. He's even got red eyeballs now. No, it raises your defense a lot. Simon says, I need to go dig up my Wii from storage. I crave a couple rounds of Wii Sports. Wii Sports is classic. That was a great bundle game. Feeling batty? I wonder if bombs hurt these guys. Nope, apparently not. Yeah, these guys do not screw around, especially when you don't have a big shield, because you let a pancake eat it. Alright, Silver Arrow. We have to have this in order to defeat Ganon. Hey Mario, welcome back. Alright, this is going to be the last stretch. Like I said, when you know exactly where to go, you can actually zip through this pretty quickly. And I'm gonna skip you guys. I will say that Wizards in Zelda 2 are so much easier to deal with. Yeah, this dungeon is pretty mean, by the way. It's just, oof. How about some hearts, guys? Come on. Give me some hearts. Alright, I definitely need some health here. There we go. Oh, that's nice. I can actually hit them with my projectile. Makes it a lot easier. Verducci Man says this looks way harder than Link to the Past. It is. Link to the Past can be, some of its dungeons can be really tough, but in like a confusing puzzle kind of way. But Zelda 1 is actually like challenging in a more traditional, like, boom, there we go. And we just did it. Zelda 1's more difficult in like a raw difficulty sense, where like you've got to dodge a ton of projectiles and, you know, enemies hit super hard, and, you know, it's like, it's NES hard. It's a classic, but it's NES hard. Yeah, so you have to smack him a few times with your sword, and then you have to shoot him with the blue arrow. And there we go. That is Zelda 1 on the Super Nintendo. Rest in peace, Mr. Yamauchi. That's cool. I do love the music. It's a nice change of pace. It's a very nice change of pace. Well, there you go, guys. That was Zelda for Super Nintendo. Like I said, if you want to try these for yourself, I've got the link to Infidelity's Twitter in the description, but there's also, you can just go to it right here. He's got a link to his archive.org. I don't want to post the archive.org link directly because it's just, I don't know. You can find it on his page. But yeah, it's pretty sweet stuff. He's got some other great hacks too that I highly recommend checking out, like the Mega Man 3 and the Contra ones with the music is really awesome. And Mega Man 3, he eradicated most of the slowdown. So it's a much faster experience as well. I'll probably try to come back and do Let's Plays of some of those, like Contra and Mega Man 3, maybe Mega Man 2 with the MSU1 soundtrack. And he's currently working on Zelda 2. Zelda 2 is out, but it doesn't have MSU1 support yet, so I'm personally going to wait until that's got MSU1 support before I start messing around with that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. Thanks for sticking it out with me. It looks like we got a decent little turnout right now. And yeah, it took us just shy of 3 hours. Like, hell, I think I only actually played for like 2 hours and 40 minutes or so. I didn't even have to get up and take a restroom break or anything. So, yeah, that was pretty sweet. Verducci Man says, I just beat Mega Man 2 by Infidelity. It was super tough as a first time. Oh, so you never actually played Mega Man 2 before? Interesting. Yeah, Mega Man 2 has a couple challenging parts if you're not familiar with it, so... DG says, nice speedrun. Yeah, it was a pretty smooth run. Ah, you'd only played Mega Man X before. Wow, okay. Well, I definitely recommend playing the classic Megas, because they're classics. You know, they're all-time greats in terms of, like, music and gameplay and visuals from the time, and it's just, yeah. But, alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I do have some other stuff I want to do tonight. I need to do some more Doom 32X Resurrection testing. I've been meaning to do that for a couple of weeks now, but I've just been trying to knock out projects. This was one of them. So... But yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. I'll have the archive up either later tonight or sometime tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, whenever he finishes Zelda 2 completely, I'll try to knock out a run of that game, and then I will do my best to do a YouTube stream of that as well. So Yeah, DG, I think you hit 2 years, man. You got the Rainbow G now. So, thanks, man, for all your support. Yep, later FPS Fanatic, later Motorhead, later Verducci Man. Thanks for the GG, Simon. I don't know if there's anybody else on YouTube that's streaming right now that I follow. My Life in Gaming. I don't even know how to do like the raid on YouTube. You have to like do it on your stream settings. It's weird. Like stream redirection. It's okay. My Life in Gaming is streaming right now. If you guys are bored, go check them out afterwards. You need more stream action. For the few of you guys that follow me on Twitch, I will probably be back on Twitch later tonight doing some more Doom testing. So, but yeah. Everybody else, thanks for watching. I'll have the archive up soon, and I'll see you later. Take it easy.